Tucked away in the darkness of patient hope, a heart beats, a neuron flickers, a finger curls. Someday there may be onesies, birthday cake smeared on a delighted face, pudgy hands twitching to pull the cat's fur. Please, God, let it be. But for now, there is waiting in the dark, where everything is possible and nothing is guaranteed. Waiting in the darkness of patient hope is hard enough. Waiting is still harder when there is suffering, pain, and no clear, concrete promise of how it will all end. The pastor, Apostle Paul, knew this truth like a thorn in his flesh. How would he compel the church in Rome to persevere in faithfulness to Christ as Lord when they were living in the shadow of the Colosseum? This is usually the pastoral tension. God's new creation sounds wonderful and all, but it's awfully abstract and unclear. Who would be willing to endure suffering and persecution while waiting for a promised new reality they've never fully seen before? Without even an ultrasound. So, Paul employs a metaphor. He takes the abstract concept of God's new creation, which is already arriving but not fully present, and compares it to the process of childbirth in which the waiting, pain, and suffering is productive, generative, and filled with the hopeful reality of new life. I was 37 weeks pregnant when our church went through a major crisis. The director of the church's preschool got upset, mostly at me, quit, and walked off campus in the middle of the day, taking one of the teachers with her and leaving a school of 70 children without the leadership they needed. If handled badly, this could have sunk the preschool and put the church on the hook for too many liability issues to count. My seminary class in church leadership and administration did not cover this. We jumped into crisis management, made sure all the classes had the appropriate number of licensed teachers, called an emergency meeting of the school board, communicated with parents to inform them and reassure them that their children were in good hands, coordinated with the church board and church staff, supported the teachers, and tried to remember to breathe. We had just put a temporary plan into place, creating a strategy for the coming days and weeks, and closed the preschool for the day with all the children safely at home, all the classrooms in order, all the remaining teachers on board. My husband, co-pastor, co-parent, had been out of town while I was handling the church crisis and caring for our 18-month-old. He returned that night just as I put our son to bed. I lowered my aching, enormous body into bed, and just as we were about to turn out the lights, I said, "I think my water broke.